Unveiling English. Delving into relative clauses. Hello and welcome back to another exciting lesson in our English language learning journey. Today, we're taking a close look at a significant aspect of English grammar: relative clauses. We will specifically focus on identifying and understanding different types of relative clauses in texts. This lesson is not just about learning, it's about applying. So, get ready to become a relative clause champion. First things first, let's recap what relative clauses are. Relative clauses are parts of sentences that provide additional information about something mentioned in the main clause. They are introduced by a relative pronoun, like who, which, that, or whom, or a relative adverb, like when, where, or why. For example, in the sentence, "The dog that stole the bone is hiding," the part in bold is the relative clause. It gives us extra information about the dog mentioned in the main part of the sentence. There are two main types of relative clauses in English: defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. These two types differ in terms of punctuation, replacement pronouns, and their overall function in a sentence. Defining relative clauses, also known as restrictive relative clauses, give essential information to define or identify the person or thing we are talking about. These clauses aren't separated by commas in a sentence. Consider the sentence, "People who smoke should quit." Here, the relative clause, "who smoke," is essential because it defines the people we're referring to. Without this clause, the meaning of the sentence changes significantly. On the other hand, non-defining relative clauses, also known as non-restrictive relative clauses, provide extra information that isn't necessary to understand the sentence's basic meaning. This type of clause is usually set off by commas. For instance, in the sentence, "My brother, who lives in Spain, is visiting me next month," the relative clause, "who lives in Spain," simply offers extra information. Even without it, the sentence, "My brother is visiting me next month," still makes sense. Now that we have learned about relative clauses, it's time to practice. Identify the relative clauses in these sentences and determine whether they are defining or non-defining. 1. The books that are on the table belong to the library. 2. Paris, which is the capital of France, is a beautiful city. 3. People who exercise regularly are healthier. We'll discuss the answers in the next lesson, so make sure to do your homework. And that's a wrap for today's lesson on relative clauses. I hope this has helped clarify the difference between defining and non-defining relative clauses and how to identify them in texts. Remember, like any other aspect of language learning, understanding relative clauses requires practice. So, keep reading, keep practicing, and you'll master these in no time. Until our next lesson, keep exploring the beautiful world of English language.